side.
Down come the hand. Whoa. Petrenko. Ongarbaev. The power of the man from Ukraine. The guile and the style of the man from Kazakhstan. Will it deliver on the promise?
Definitely the speed, the guile, agility, technical prowess is on Kydyrgali. Ongarbaev, absolute power is Oleg Petrenko. We can see the Oleg Petrenko hand size compared to Kydyrgali is absolutely insane.
Kydyrgali will be very aware of the strength threat represented by this man. Oleg Petrenko, one of the most powerful men in the weight class beyond any question. And sometimes you've got to go over the wall. Sometimes you've got to go around the wall. What will he choose? As you said, one of the most technically well-rounded and proficient arm wrestlers in the game.
Roll, and Petrenko will just dive to the side.
Down come the hand. Whoa. I'll tell you what, Ray. There was no movement there from Oleg Petrenko.
No. His hand didn't budge at all. In a strap, it will give him clear advantage. The only thing I'm kind of worried about if they get stuck right there at the end of the pin pad. But I think at the start of the match, Oleg Petrenko, in my head, is a clear favorite with the power difference that he has. Student of late pain train Andrei Pushkar, has very, very similar style. Not a lot of movement of pronation, not a lot of, like, how to say, he doesn't try to attack your hand or take you or open your wrist. He just wants to drive you to sideways. That's all he does.
Finesse not required.
No.
When your top end strength is at the level that Petrenko's is, and the man from Ukraine looks supremely calm. Look at his face there, the focus, the diligence. He wants to shut down all the trickery, wants to take away any games being played, and make this all about brute strength. If the match is about top-end power, he believes that he will be the man with benefit.
From
big drive, and Oleg Petrenko, wow. Not difficult, Ray.
No. We had this conversation before, Neil. I really still remember the version I saw in 2018, 2019, and this looks like an upgraded version of Oleg Petrenko. He was pulling 95 kilo class then, now he's pulling 105, and we clearly can see the difference, and I think we will see much more of this guy and very, very close to the absolute top of this weight division and maybe even the next one.
He's one of those guys, Ray, that flies under the radar a bit, mate. I mean, you see Petrenko and you see the power, you see the top end, but there was a lot of diligence in that. There was a lot of technical nuance in that. He knew what he needed to shut down. He was feeling it, he was focused. And ominous signs right now for Kydyrgali Ongarbaev, because he was utterly outgunned on that first start, and it's now that he needs to go to that bag of tricks. And exciting times for us as fans and viewers, because we get to see what he has to offer. How can he change, and will he have the courage to do so?
Definitely. Right now, we will see more tests from Kydyrgali Ongarbaev. It's not the first time he had his back against the wall. He has great arm wrestling abilities, pulling inside and outside, a lot of endurance, a lot of movement, which a lot of arm wrestlers don't have. But in my mind, this is very, very similar match to the past match he had versus Todd Hutchings. Petrenko kind of attacks the same lane that Todd Hutchings does. In my opinion, just has a little bit more wrist flexion at the end.
And a little more pace, I think, Ray.
Yes.
Looks very, very, yeah. You often see Toddzilla initiate, but he doesn't necessarily initiate to finish. He initiates to gain position and put you into a bad spot, whereas Petrenko was to the pad, through the pad.
Yeah.
Down come the hands. Watch for the... Oh, looked at that. I'll tell you what, that looked a little jump start there from Petrenko.
Jump start.
Yeah, seemed to gain position before the goal.
One foul for Oleg Petrenko for movement in the referee's grip. But even then, on this start, he took it very dominantly. Hand held up pretty damn well.
One of the concerns you've got to have if you're Ongarbaev right now is that Petrenko is not allowing him to gap the match. He's not allowing any space for Kydyrgali to move into. If you look, he's absolutely utilizing every millimeter of that setup to make sure that his strength is engaged early. He's even allowing his hand to be filled just so that that is connecting very early. And look at the height he's maintaining on the thumb. Big drop. Oh, mate, he looks supreme.
Supreme.
Really shutting the lane down.
Ongarbaev has one elbow foul also, so, and I think they're still not going to the straps. I'm just thinking how many of those pins they still, like, if you're holding on, your hand is working, so it might get tired, and I think Ongarbaev kind of wants that. He wants to keep working, and maybe find a chink in Oleg Petrenko's armor, but right now he's really looking supreme. I think for him it would be easier to slip and just finish this in the strap.
I think you're exactly on the money, Ray. I really do. I mean, prior to that start there, he hadn't really had a great deal of purchase, and he hadn't really made Petrenko work. Petrenko was just matching him on the pace and was jumping all over the hand. Now, the strap's going to tell a story. It'll allow Ongarbaev to have a lot more engagement from lower down his arm, and that may be a little equalizer in terms of the top-end strength. If he can prevent the movement to the side, he's got to be very careful here he doesn't get put off his shoulder, because we know that Oleg will really chuck his frame into this thing and try and just smash you sideways, and he does so very well.
Oleg Petrenko looking in cruise control, but it's still round number 2, and we're scheduled at least for 4. I'm interested to see, will Kydyrgali stick to this game plan? Will he change the lanes? So Oleg Petrenko is really dominant on the center. He takes your center and that just drives you sideways. Very much the thing that Todd Hutchings did against him. He was scheduled to pull Todd Hutchings, and if I was have to face another opponent that I faced before, and I really would work on that position, right now he's not getting the stop he wants. The stop he got with Todd Hutchings, he's just get pushed to the side. Okay, we're still in round 2, so I may be ahead of myself, but
pivotal round right now, Ray.
Definitely.
I mean, the strap could make a big difference here with the movement that he put in the last time, but my concern is that he just seems like he's being driven sideways so hard. I'll tell you what, he was supinating there.
Yeah, he went inside. He wanted to go inside, and kind of a little bit hit a wall there, but I think on the first round, we had a buckle on Kydyrgali's hand, and that in Petrenko's hand, and that didn't help him at all. This time it's on Kydyrgali, so ability to top roll is again, a little bit worse.
There's 2 options there for him, isn't there? He could feed the lower palm forward, and from the body position, it actually looked like he may have been chucking in a little high hook and then look to rotate out from there, because he's got his shoulder so low, he's looking to punch forward, but sitting in there is dangerous.
Turns and just got turned to the side.
The side pressure, ridiculous. I don't know what Kydyrgali's saying there. Is he saying jump start?
Jump start, yeah.
Okay.
But that's a pin, 2-0.
And right now, Petrenko looks the faster man.
Looks faster, more dominant. Right now is dominating absolutely every single aspect of this arm wrestling match. Kydyrgali can't get any purchase in this match.
Well, the ominous sign for him there, mate, was that you looked at the hit and he did get connection. It didn't make any difference. He was looking for back pressure and he was just absolutely blasted straight through it, Petrenko. The concern I've got here is that Oleg Petrenko has felt there that he's got such a differential in terms of the top-end strength that he's almost disrespectful now. He's just looking to engage so early that it's denying any opportunity, any space for Kydyrgali to move into. And that makes it a perilous position. And what I mean by that is Kydyrgali can't go backwards anymore. He's got to abandon that and try to fast twitch, move Petrenko off his shoulder. Get him on his arm. We saw earlier tonight Ryan Bowen had more than he thought he had when the match went nearer a hook. And he ended up doing quite well in the last couple of rounds. There's a time you've got to make a change, and for me, that time is now. Kydyrgali needs to try and test the arm. Use some more courage here, use a little bit more brute force, and try to just blast yourself into an A-side position. I said in the pre-show, if he lands in a B-side position with Oleg Petrenko, is going to be a very dark night for him.
Yeah, top-end strength would definitely. Right now, can't even measure how far is Oleg Petrenko ahead of Kydyrgali Ongarbaev. It's very hard to fight an uphill battle versus someone who's just stronger in absolutely everything you do. The only thing you can hope for is that you do some damage, you slowly do some damage, you make him a little bit tired, but sometimes you're both getting tired, just the stronger man still stays the stronger man.
Yes, he does, and anyone out there that feels like if you're a fabulous arm wrestler, which we know Kydyrgali Ongarbaev clearly is, there is no silver key that will allow you to master the sport of arm wrestling if you are simply not strong enough. And right now, Oleg Petrenko looks like he has another gear in terms of that red line top end. And there needs to be a big change here from Kydyrgali, and he's got to move the arm of the Ukrainian.
Round number 3.
Now,
I would say double elbow foul for both.
It was a double elbow foul, but the real concern that I've got there is that regardless of that fact, Kydyrgali Ongarbaev tried to set the hook, but he did so in a static fashion. He just sat forward and tried to absorb the hit of Petrenko, and that is not the right move at all. If you let this guy get on top of you and palm up, you are in serious trouble. A little better there from Kydyrgali, but he mistimed it by a mile. There was no movement of the arm of Petrenko, and it's hard at this stage to see a route through the Ukrainian. Oleg Petrenko forged his career off the coaching of the late great Andrei Pushka, the Ukraine pain train.
Waiting for the go.
For that sideways drive, and you can see the application of it, whether it's top roll, whether it's the shoulder press, whether it's the hook. He's dominating every single aspect of this match.
3-0.
It's hard to see a route back in here, Ray.
Yeah, he's right now swinging for the fences. He went all he could do. I don't know if he has anything left for the last round. He knows as soon as you go inside with Petrenko, it's a bad day. So there's no, I don't think there's an inside route. Maybe some initiation with a press and then turning it into a hook and then super pronating it out, which just sounds super difficult and almost undoable, but there's I don't think it's a top roll at this point.
You know, there's some nuance being thrown into this thing. You're seeing Kydyrgali actually throw a lot of options here into Petrenko. They may be very difficult for people to read, but if you watch this back, you will see that he's just in those last 3 starts thrown 3 different things at Oleg Petrenko, but the result that he got back was absolutely consistent, no difference whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's because Oleg Petrenko is too strong tonight, and he's not getting fatigued.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we had this conversation, and I thought that Oleg Petrenko was something very, very special in 2018 and 19, and I'm thinking he's coming back, and he said he's, by the weights that he's lifting, he's stronger than he ever was, and it looks like this. Former 105-kilo champion, again, is being dominated, in my opinion, worse than in the match where he lost the title.
I'm going to say that earlier this afternoon you said that you fancied Petrenko for this, and potentially in quite dominant fashion. I actually had Ongarbaev as a marginal favourite here, and I thought this could be the best match of the night. It has been anything but. One more time, it's hard not to respect the dominance that you see here. Everybody, as fans, as commentators, we want to see this thing open up and turn into an absolute war. But there are occasions when it's just not going to happen, and Petrenko flew to Dubai with singular focus, and it was to decimate his opponent. And if you're in the camp of the Ukrainian tonight, he is doing a number on a man who's hard to shut down.
He's doing very, very well, and I think he's just one step away from a potential title match, especially with this kind of dominant performance. I would love, if he finishes this match right now, I would love to see him and Todd Hutchings go at it.
I mean, what a match that could be.
What a match could that be.
Here we go. Down come the hands. Petrenko leading 3-0. Kydyrgali, Ongarbaev unable to find any kind of foothold, and he's running hard. He's looking for the strap. But the thing you've got to take away from that start, as we've seen on all of the previous, is the fact that Oleg Petrenko doesn't look taxed, Ray. He's disrespectful of everything.
No. What do you mean disrespectful?
Look at the man. He's supremely calm. He's smiling. There's no stress. There's no hardship. He's not breathing heavy. His arm is not inflated. This is a guy that has another gear. It's clear to see.
Yeah, clearly I feel like, yeah. He doesn't have to use his full potential. He hasn't struggled in any position at all. Every go, even if Kydyrgali started first, hit the wall. Absolutely dominant performance till now from Oleg Petrenko. He might finish it right here and right now and be one step higher or one step closer to his goals.
You know the thing I like the most about this, and it's difficult to read, but if you look at the position of Oleg Petrenko, he's shut down so much of this match. He's all gears forward at this point in time, but look at the way that he set the arm. Look at the height of the index finger. It's above that of his opponent. Look at the fact that he's already engaged the pronator despite having that side pressure and a little tricep applied in there. What that's actually doing is preventing Ongarbaev from seeing where the attack is coming from, and he's taking away the options. Really smart pulling.
Let's see what Ongarbaev still has left. Oh
my God.
He knows. He hits inside and hit the wall.
A wall.
I don't believe there is your choice. Maybe it's time for open arm top roll or something, right? You need to get a stop, and he might have some success, and the hand is still getting tired, but waiting for the go.
Petrenko he's allowing the initiation, Ray. Oh my word, when it comes arm on arm. You know what, it's a horrible situation to be Kydyrgali Ongarbaev here, because
Petrenko running elbow fall on I think Ongarbaev. Oleg Petrenko takes this 4-0.
And he took it in arguably the most dominant fashion that we've seen throughout tonight.
Question is, are they going to pull?
Let's look at that again on the replay. Look at the engagement on the hit there from Oleg Petrenko. I mean, he just folds that in. He literally wrist curled it down, set the match arm on arm, and dominate. Look at that. Absolute domination, and no opportunity there to put the brakes on for Kydyrgali. Oleg Petrenko, masterclass here. You got to take your hat off. This is a man who right now, on the basis of what we've just viewed, it's hard to see anybody having an easy night with this man.
Definitely. Performance versus ex-champion. Absolutely dominant. Shut down everything. Was stronger in absolutely every single position.
Every position, every lane. And the ability to deny the lanes. We were talking about it this afternoon. We talked about it on the pre-show. Petrenko made Marcio Barboza look bad.
Yes, I think a lot of people kind of forgot about that match because it was kind of a weird one, right? Marcio was complaining about elbow falls, and he got a lot of, I think he lost on elbow falls almost all the match, but he just couldn't do nothing. That's how powerful Oleg Petrenko is. And man, like Todd Hutchings, David Adikian, whoever, I think he's ready, and I think he's well deserving, proving it right here tonight versus Ongarbaev.
What a prospect in store. As you said earlier, if we were to see Todzilla and Petrenko go at it, that would be absolutely arm on arm. But on the basis of what I've seen tonight, Petrenko would probably go into that match as a favourite because I think they're calling it.
I think they were finished. I thought that they're going to pull, but
it looks like it's over.
Ongarbaev just left. Ongarbaev just left.
Maybe some damage, Ray.